The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Okay, guys, welcome to Probably a Podcast. We have the most stunning, gorgeous, amazing Hannah Berner.
Thank you for having me back.
And we're in, as you can see by these Gardena palms, we're in the Toast Studio. So thank you to El Jefe Claudia and letting us borrow the studio. It's fantastic. She's actually sitting right here.
She's literally Zaddy.
She's Zaddy. So welcome in. It's a really boiling hot day in New York.
And we're both wearing sweaters.
We're both like pretty hot.
Because you know what? We love to deal with adversity. We want to overcome things.
Do you remember the last time we did the podcast? Not in this studio, but do you remember you sweat so much that it was like coming down the side of your dress? I'm sorry.
What's so sad is I don't remember it because it happens every pod.
Perfect.
So I'm like, that was just a day in my life. And everyone will be so supportive and message me and be like, hey, it's okay. Like, get Botox. And then I just haven't.
Botox in the armpits?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, but I'm like, then it's going to come out of like other weird places like my
you
ankles.
Gotta secrete your fucking...
My stomach.
Oh my God.
I don't know where it's gonna come, but look, it's gonna be hot.
It's natural. It's hot. We're hot
Lean
girls
in.
doing hot girl shit.
Yeah, or just wear black or white.
I like it. Well, thanks for coming because you've literally been fucking everywhere. We were laughing about this. I was convinced that Hannah accidentally said yes to this podcast because she is always in a different city. She's always somewhere else. You're just like on the move. She's a working woman.
But this is the only time I can like hang out with people I want to hang out with.
When it's forced and it's on a podcast.
No, but I'm like, okay, we get to make content. I tell myself like, we have to do it. It's for a job. I'm like, it's fun. So this was literally like, I was missing you because you came in and gaslit everyone. You were like, we're all gonna like hang out in New York all the time.
That is so true.
And then like nowhere to be found.
I went to 2 of Hannah's shows and then I moved. I didn't come back.
That was how upset she was with the show. She was like, I need to leave this state.
I can't live here anymore. Who wants my apartment? Who wants a sublease? Who wants this?
No, but I'm proud of you for even like trying New York.
No, I'm a fraudulent resident. It's okay. I tried, but it's you know what? I literally met James like right whenever I got the apartment, and then
James.
I hate to say like that a boy was put before anything else in my life, but I was like, whatever.
No, but you were in this like in between phase, and I feel like he helped you make some decisions.
Agreed. And I couldn't be going to London, New York, Nashville. That's like a very you thing. Like I couldn't be going to all these places at once. That was like too fucking much.
No, but there's something weird that when you find a guy you like, you immediately want to nest.
Yeah. 100%.
Like your nesting is like, I follow you because of your nesting.
The nesting of it all.
You are a literal ladybird.
I do love that. And honestly, like moving into a house like made me nest more and like do shit that I didn't do. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll empty all my spice jars into like other spice jars that have pretty labels. Like that is, by the way, crazy behavior. Like
it's so cute.
I did that on a Friday night.
You want to get crazy and label some jars?
This cumin's really gonna fucking sprinkle nicely.
And then you never use the cumin.
Yeah, never. Oh my God, I threw
labeled.
away. You know what? It was nice. I actually threw away so many spices. I was like, what the fuck do I use?
I feel like I knew I liked my man because I started wanting to buy pillows.
Oh yeah, pillows. But mans don't like pillows.
No, but that's how you know you're like you're getting them down. You're like
down.
This is your life is changing now because we have decorative pillows in places we don't need them.
Yes, on every surface.
On every surface.
But I definitely thought that Hannah was still in Arkansas, nesting over there in the South. I was like, I fully texted you this morning, being like, can't wait to see you at 12:30 at the Toast Studio. No, and I literally was like prepared to tell Claudia like, hey, you have to be on my show because Hannah's still in Arkansas, and she definitely forgot that. Like,
I'm a woman of my word.
You are.
And I was just in Arkansas, so now I'm speaking Southern like you. I just had sweet tea. I could put my head through a wall. Sweet tea is cocaine for Yankees.
By the way, it is.
It is.
Like sweet tea.
I was like,
is a drug.
Oh,
it's a drug.
It's a drug.
That's why people. Do you ever see people do half and half? It's like
Yes.
when you only need a little bit of drugs.
Yes.
And tea is already caffeinated, and then they pour so much goddamn sugar in there.
I literally will get sweet tea and I get water, and then I just put a little sweet tea in the water, and my friends are like, you're embarrassing us. Also in Arkansas, they have queso dip. It's like
what do you mean?
like basically
Like, of course they do. What do you mean?
No, but you know when you order like chips in New York, it's like you get chips and salsa. Their chips just come with cheese dip.
Yes, of course, in a little plastic bowl.
That's insane behavior.
What? Queso? Queso?
I shat myself.
We have call it 100%.
For 4 days.
No. It's like what you do. Like before in college, before formals, we would all just go like drink queso. So we would just shit our brains out and like be like,
No, it's I mean, it's crazy because you can't just have one bite of queso. Like, it's
No.
good.
You have to have it all.
It's hot, and you're like, well, now I need to taste. I have to drink it.
And at real, like, my favorite kind of Mexican restaurants are the ones that we call it booth Mexican, because there's just booths everywhere. It's like not nice.
And the menu has to be so big.
27 pages. And so my favorite thing to do is get booth Mexican queso, because it's like water, in the sense that like the consistency is not correct. Like, it should be thicker. It should be more cheesy, but it's not. It's like water, and I fucking love it. It just like really makes me feel like I'm in the right place.
Yes, like liquid Chernobyl. It's like it's going right through. But between the sweet tea and the queso, my friend and I were just going up, and I have a show in like 5 hours.
I'm like, you look good, by the way.
I was going to the bathroom. I was going to the bathroom, and I come back, and I'd be like, you know when you think you're done, you're like, I did it. I gotta go.
Just one
so
more.
Embarrassing. And then, speaking about queso, when I visited her before, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever had. And I was like, we have to bring it back to New York. And her mom was a genius and was like, let's freeze it.
Yeah, you can. That's what they do there at the restaurant.
We were in, that's why it's so watery. We were in the, like, going through the
TSA with frozen blocks of cheese.
And they literally, but it was frozen, actually, queso dip. And the guy was like, you can't bring liquids. And I was like, this is frozen queso.
A block of cheese.
And he was like, no, this is queso. This is liquid. And I go, it's literally a solid. Have you been to chemistry class in 3rd grade? And he took it from us, and we cried. Yep.
That's really crazy.
It was fucked up.
I've had to throw away Chanel perfume that's made me less upset than that queso story.
That is, people don't talk about that enough. The things that you decide to throw away.
Yeah, the things you have to. You're like, and because they always say this to you as if it's a fucking option. They go, well, you could go back. You could go back that way, check in again, and check it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'll fucking do. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm right here with you.
These dudes do not realize that tiny little like serum.
I know
is like $300.
Do you know what they do in the UK that I'm real bent out of shape about? Apparently in like 2025 or some shit. Why do they announce stuff so soon? Like, we're gonna have this new like Southwest is like, we're doing away with all of our shitty seats in 2026. Expect new. I'm like, what, in 2026?
I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, the fuck. But they don't let you. They give you a clear plastic bag when you travel to Europe, and you have to fit all of your like liquid, anything that's liquid. So any makeup, anything that's liquid goes in there. And then if it doesn't fit in the plastic bag, like, I have a lot of travel size liquids. They're the right amount underneath. They're like, sorry, you can't take it. And one time I popped off. I was like, well, so what do I do? He's like, you'll have to throw some away. I was like, but they're all under 100 mils like you require. He's like, but it all has to fit in the plastic bag. I was like, why does it all have to fit in the plastic bag? He's like, it's the rules. And I was just like, I fucking hate you.
No, it's honestly the flying stuff. I almost got divorced because I didn't have TSA pre.
Well, Hannah.
That was my fault.
Hannah, get TSA pre, you know what I mean?
Well, I have it now, but now I like TSA pre. Your head gets so big. You're like, now I'm treating other people like that. I'm like, you don't have TSA pre?
Yeah. No, it's the high horse that you sit upon when you have TSA pre-check. Like, we went to what city were we in, Courtney? Where the line was so long, and I didn't even. Like, I should have seen a super long line for standard, and then the line for TSA was short. And I remember looking at people like ew. Like I just remember being not even like, oh, I'm so glad we had to have TSA pre-check. I was like, of course there's
when
a
you
super
start
long
flying
line.
a lot, there becomes this like hierarchy that's just like in your own head. But I like every now and then I'll get upgraded, you know, and I'm in first class, and I feel like there'll be these like businessmen that'll just like go in front of me, wait while we're waiting for them to call
like
first
you
class.
Must not be in first class.
Exactly. And I always get so fucking mad. And I'm saying that, and then I don't want to like, I go to like kind of skip them, then they go to skip me, and we're in this full, like, I have full on fake fights with these businessmen.
I fake fight all the time in my head, and it's on airplanes a lot.
Yeah.
I one time, my dad was flying first class somewhere with my mom, and he went to take like his our parents' age people, they like wear like suit coats still on planes, like they can't
like
imagine
jeans.
Yeah, and I have like my very, very nice, like matching, aesthetically pleasing like sweat set, but like, you know, and my like designer sneakers, and my mom's like, you're wearing that on the plane? I'm like, what the fuck? Yes. But like, that's just not them. That my mom,
it's like monochrome.
Yeah, I'm like, it's aesthetic. But my mom like has like her rollers, and like she like gets like she looks
so
nice.
Cute.
It's really cute because you can just tell it's like a generational thing. But like, I remember my dad went to go take his jacket off, and mom was like, honey, she was like, we're flying first class. And I was like, yeah, dad, if you take that off, people are gonna assume you got upgraded to first class. Like, that would be the worst. Imagine they don't even think you're supposed to be here.
Don't be the upgraded one.
Don't be the upgrade.
No, but then also, I guess I have like I think I have a friendly resting face.
You do.
Because everyone wants to talk to me.
To you?
I had this crazy situation recently where like the guy, they start showing you photos of their family on their phone.
Wait, sitting beside you?
Yeah. And this was like 7 a.m.
Yeah, I can't do that.
At one point he started like kind of crying, talking about how much he loves his daughter, which was like,
nice,
it's so nice,
strange.
but not 7 a.m. with a stranger. And then he was like, tell me about his marriages.
What?
And like, he was pretty entertaining, but I was like, and then I can't get it.
You can't fake a call. You know what I mean?
I'm not getting on an elevator. So then, and I'm texting my friend who's like sitting somewhere else, and she's like, "Just put your headphones in." I'm like, "I'm like past that. The man's crying. I can't put my headphones in while he's crying."
There's a threshold, and you were way past it.
I went past it. That's the thing. I went past it. So I'm practicing, and also when they find out you're a stand-up comedian,
why do you tell people that?
I'll tell you why.
Why do you tell people that?
Because I'm bad at lying. When I lie, it gets awkward. Like I was once driving somewhere to do a college gig, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Visiting friends." And he was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, 32. And he's like, "So you're visiting like college kids?" And I was like, "Oh, it's my brother's friends." And I was like, "I'm my sister's friend." Like it got so weird. And then I was like, "Just tell the truth next time." Like the guy like was freaked out by me.
Courtney and I, whenever we're in Ubers going to shows, I
what do you say? What's your go-to?
What do I say? I go like, cause sometimes we have a lot of suitcases with us, and sometimes I'm like in full, you know me, I like am wearing like fucking feathers and wearing full glam to do my shows.
Yes.
So I'm always like, and sometimes if we're check-in, Courtney will always like write like I'm Shannon's producer, like to try to get me an upgrade for the hotel room. Like she has a busy show. If we could get an early check-in, she's a sold out show. Like we just like say whatever to try to like, get more. And so sometimes people at the hotel will be like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah," and you're like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." But in the car rides, I'll just be like, "Just visiting." And then they always want to know because they're Uber drivers and you're in their like random small tiny cities. So they're like, "What are you visiting for?" And I'm like, every once in a while, if I say a show, I always am like, why did I say that? Why did I say that?
Next you know, they're like, "Let me get your name." And then they're taking selfies. They're sending it to their
Do you know how many Uber drivers and hotel employees that I have put on the guest list at my show?
That's my favorite thing to do though.
No, because they'll be like, "Can I come?" And I'm like, "Of course."
No, I'll be randomly like,
Des Moines, Iowa.
I do like though if you are got a random like brunch, because I like going to brunch in these random places.
Yeah.
And the waitress, if they randomly recognize you, they're like, "I didn't even know you were in town. Why are you in town?" Like you freak them out. They're like, "Why are you in like this random place in Illinois?"
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, "Do you want to come to the show tonight?" And I'm like, "I know someone."
So
it's like I like it when people want to come, not when they're like, "I'll see what you're doing tonight." And I'm like, "Okay, you're gonna make all the women uncomfortable." But it's fine. I created an energy, and I'm trying to keep it a safe space.
It's a safe space here. Don't come in with your weird
No, I imagine you with all your feathers just being like, we're just getting dinner.
Just dinner. And by the way, Courtney's always in like biker shorts and like she's ready to fucking work. And I'm always like, and I'm like, we're just dating. We're heading out. Something special.
No, someone's like, guys are better at it because they'll just be like, "Yeah, I'm doing business," and they'll just stop. Where if we're doing business, they'll be like, "Oh, what business? What kind of business your girls doing?"
Girl bosses, love to hear it. What are you up to?
How close to the sun are your girl bossing? It's like, I was like, too close. Too freaking close.
Too fucking close.
I just don't like lying, but I also don't like saying the truth. So we're in a problem.
We had an Uber. I just posted. Oh, you're on my close friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Thank you so much.
After the first podcast, you go, "Oh, I switched up my close friends." And I'm like, "What is she talking about?"
You have to be trusted. I only have like 24 people on it, which is actually a really small amount. Like,
you're gonna make me cry.
I really don't because I do some wackadoodle shit. Like I really and I would like if it got out, if anything ever got out from my close friends, like I would immediately have to. It would be an easy like tell who did it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, there's just like it has to be a safe space, and you've created a very safe space for me to see
that is
down there.
Wait, I love that because we only met very briefly, but we hit it the fuck off.
We really did.
And that's why I was mad that I hadn't had you on Burning in Hell, but also you were like all over the world.
No, I was doing so many things. I love you for that. Well, I'll still come on it because you're gonna go back to doing Burning in Hell. You guys do Burner Phone.
We do Burner Phone. I think I might have just like some special guests because I like Burner Phone.
Yes.
Because it's people call in.
Burner Phone's such a good concept. It's so good.
It was just
so
like
rogue.
It's like, so rogue.
It's so if you guys like need to just like obviously everything Giggly Squad, everything Hannah does is like laughable, but like this one is just like it's the gall of it all.
I also feel like it's good for like you and your like fiance can listen or boyfriend because Des brings like a different male energy 100%. To it. Because with Paige, I could say whatever, and we go
always
off,
support it.
Where Des will be like, "That's not true." And I'm like, "What?" I go, "Excuse me?" Or I'll be like, I'll say a word wrong and Paige will just like believe it. Where Des will be like, that's not how that word is used. And I'm like, oh my God. Or it'd be like, you told this story already. And I'm like, Paige lets me tell all my stories.
I always retell stories. How many stories do you think I fucking have? I look at Courtney 24/7. I'm like, I've already said this. She's like, that's fine.
Well, all we do is talk. Like, it's all we do. Wait, but have you addressed your like insane last 2 weeks?
Yeah, incessantly. Like, I didn't use that word, right? so many times in a row is what I meant to say. But you're good now? I excessively, incestuously, that is sleeping with your family member. We're not sleeping with our family members. Even though I am from the South, I do not partake in that Southern tradition, okay? Excessively, I have spoken about it. I cannot speak about it. I have a solo podcast that I did in our hotel room this morning.
Got it.
And I go, I'm going to talk about this for probably, I was like mapping out my solo episode, and I was like, it'll be like, probably a pretty long time. I'll talk about the whole face thing from start to finish. So it'll be like 20 minutes. I looked at the timer. It was at 45 minutes. I was like, wow.
That's like talent.
I got to reel this in.
But that's also why our job is so weird that like when something fucked up like that happens, I'm immediately like, I have so much to talk about for the next 3 weeks.
I said that. And I always, with so many fucked up shit that happens to me in my life, I'm always like, content. Like, it's fine. Like, the world gives me this for content. But I said on my solo, I was like, so if whoever's listening, like God, the universe, whatever's going on here, just know that the mouth thing, I could have come up with some other things to talk about. I could have really dug deep and found some other things. They didn't have to take it that far.
Didn't. But the fact that you were like grid posting, just like the most raw, but like that's why people love you.
That's really nice. Thank you.
I love you because you can laugh at yourself.
You've simply have to, like, when you're using words like, sorry, I can't perform my like amazing show in Nashville because my lips are crusted shut. Like when you're having to say things like sores are bursting open and then crusting over, like these like fucking descriptive words are like what else can you do but laugh?
But you look so put together right now.
Thank you. I healed very quickly, which was nice. But then I also said this on my podcast where it's like, then I felt bad for healing too quickly. I was like, now it like, is it even believable that I was like so down bad? And then I'm like, funny. Oh my God, I should be happy that I'm
you're an inspiration, that it doesn't matter how down low you get, you can always come back.
You can always come back. You can always laugh about it. Guys, the most important thing to me on any platform I have, no matter what, is to be transparent with you guys, all right? And I feel like I've always done a good job sharing not just the highs, but the lows too. And you guys have listened to this podcast. If you have at all, then you know that I have had some really low points, okay, at certain times. Now, I'm stronger and I'm better for them, but regardless, they still happened and they still affect me and who I am. So the number one thing that I cannot suggest enough, therapy, baby. You might think you don't need it, but I promise you, it will make you feel so fulfilled after you do it. But I get it. It's daunting. Okay, trying to find a therapist. I have so many friends who just gave up on the search because it took forever and they felt uncomfortable when therapy is supposed to be the exact opposite of that. So you've got to find the right person for you, and it's such a personal preference. And I personally use Talkspace to find my therapist because it is exactly the tool that you need for finding the right professional for you. It was convenient to speak to them online. I can take my therapy sessions from the place that I feel the most comfortable, which is my own home. I love how my therapy sessions are online and at the ease and comfort of a space that I want to be in, okay? Not some stuffy office. So not to mention the affordability of it all. Do we all need a therapist, a helping hand? Yes, but can we all afford it? Not always, all right? So that is why Talkspace is so passionate about making therapy accessible to everyone. They even have a policy that allows you to cancel and get a prorated refund for any unused time. So if you need to do that, that's an amazing feature. A lot of people wait until something really bad happens, I feel like, to decide that they need to go to therapy. But I'm here to tell you that therapy is the most cathartic thing that I've ever given to myself. And we should all be doing it at all stages and phases of our lives. So therapy can help you shift your perspective, find tools to cope with difficult times, and frankly, just be a guiding light. Talkspace can help with any specific challenges that you might be facing. And it's the #1 online therapy platform with licensed therapists in over 40 specialties, including anxiety, depression, substance abuse, relationship issues, and so much more. And guys, as a listener of this podcast, you'll get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/probably. To match with the licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/probably to get $80 off your first month. So that's Talkspace.com/probably. I need to talk to you about your fucking incredible, we'll get to your Netflix special because that's
oh my God, thank you.
Iconic. But I want to know about your street interviews lately, or like they're getting just like out of hand. Like J-Lo is like, that's crazy. Like you're doing J-Lo, we're doing Hailey Bieber. You're just like doing these things. Like we're just doing that. And then like, I know like, who are you most nervous in front of? Obviously like the Montana Boys, but like.
Okay, the Montana Boys. When I heard about this interview, I got excited in a way that I hadn't gotten excited for an interview in a while, because this is the thing with the top people, you have to run the questions by their team.
Of course. And it's usually for something like a launch.
Yes,
so
there's a reason.
Yeah.
And their team was just like, look, have fun with them. And I said, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Because it's going to be a bloodbath. Are you sure? Because these interviews started with a concept where I go, I want to ask dudes things they don't normally get asked that are like kind of uncomfortable, whether it's like, so I basically was like, this is where it started, like asking funny male comics. But I'm like, also Montana, that's such a, like, I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
Like we are from such different worlds. They also played college football, like they have CTE, and I'm like, this is raising awareness for CTE.
100%.
And I'm like, we're gonna have so much fun. And I literally was giggling, like the producer was like, are you okay? And I'm like,
just excited.
I was frothing from the mouth from what was about to happen. And they were like such good sports.
They were nice.
But the best part was people were like, are they in on the joke or are they not? And I said,
who could be too sure?
It's like the Mona Lisa. Is she smiling or is she not? That is art.
It's up to you. It's up for interpretation.
It's up for interpretation.
This art is up for interpretation.
But they were like messaging me after. They were like, we love this. Send it to us. Like,
that is so good. Whenever you were like, so do you go down on girls? Have you ever done the ABCs? And like at one point, the one that's dating Kristen Mark, like that, like the really hot one, he's just like,
I know that trick.
I don't know. He's just like, and then you're like, do you always repeat everything the other one says? He's like, when it's good.
This is the thing. I'm fascinated by like hot men.
Yeah.
In terms of like how they go through life and how different it is.
Yeah.
And then just like fuckboy dude. Not that they are necessarily fuckboys, but in general, like how, and I feel like they never get asked these kinds of questions.
Yes.
So I just feel like it was really, really fun. But yeah, the interviews were never meant to be with big celebrities. It was always
incredible
to be like, to fuck around with male comics. And then the female comics at the club, because I was just at the club bored and I was like, well, I might as well interview like funny people.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't want comics at first. I wanted normal people, but then normal people, they would get drunk. Next day they'd be like, take me out of the video.
Oh, really?
And so I told the comics, I'm like, don't try to make jokes. Like, be yourself. Because I'm trying to like do this shtick.
But you know, whenever I first watched it, some comics that I didn't recognize, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, that is so funny. Well, and then I was like, and then I found out they were a comic, and then it made me watch their stuff. Like, I was like, but I didn't know they were a comic. Which was better.
Because I actually didn't want it to be like a fake thing, but I told the boys, I was like, be yourself. Don't try to make me laugh. Let me guide you. And just be real. Be yourself. And then they just happen to be the funniest people in the world.
Because of course they are just funny too.
And they're comics. And then, but they also like, they want to be in the videos. I don't like the awkwardness of Man on the Street where you're like, you know, when people don't want to be on the video.
Yes.
Like, I hate that tension. I don't want to do that.
Someone said to me one time, like, you should do street interviews. And I was like, oh, I couldn't possibly, because
like,
I can't.
Maybe in Nashville, like with your friends or with like a community, you know.
I did not realize that you were, because I didn't recognize everyone right off the bat. I truly thought you were grabbing people from the street. And I was like, God, she's got nuts of steel. No. Like, she really just doesn't give a fuck.
People will tell me like, or like a brand will be like, can we do this? And like you interview random people. I'm like, I would have to do this for hours to get the quality of content that I'm getting from these comics. That's like, it's just a thing that I do, and this is how I do it. But it started because I was just hanging out for hours at the Stand in Union Square. Shout out to Stan. You should go see shows there. And I was trying to do these on the street, and the comics were like, put us in. And I'm like, you guys are going to like ruin it. Like, you're going to be like, you're going to make like, but they were perfect. But then it was the girl comics that were like, hey, I know you're making fun of men, but like, you gotta put us out there too. Yeah. And then I was like, well, I'm not gonna make fun of you guys. Let me think. And then I did a video of like, do you spit or swallow? And it fucking blew up. Yes. Because it's female comics who are like, we love talking about this shit. I was born to talk about it. So, and one blew up where I said like, how often do you shave your cooch? And the girls are just so calm and cool about it. So then that was doing well. And then randomly, people be like, hey, Jennifer Lawrence is promoting a movie. Can you interview her? And that's when shit got weird. Because I wasn't planning that.
What did you?
I didn't manifest it. Manifestation is not always the thing. I was not manifesting that.
I was not. I just wanted to do this. Okay, so what did you, with the very first like big one, was it Jennifer Lawrence?
The very first big one was the Jonas Brothers.
Okay, yes, okay.
Which is one of my favorite stories.
So what the fuck did you do? Did you get an email from your agent? Like, how does Hannah react to this moment?
So they had the Waffle House song coming up. And they reached out and they were like, we're having some creators that can interview the Jonas Brothers. We're giving you like 10 minutes, because back then they still do their like press days, but now their press days involve TikTokers. So we basically were like in this line and they were in this room.
Did you have to tell them your idea first?
I think I ran the questions by them, but they were like cool. But they were like, make sure you promote a little bit about Waffle House.
Right. What if, not a problem, by the way. Not a problem.
Great song.
Happy to. Oh, Waffle House, not the restaurant.
No, yeah, not theirs. They had a song called Waffle House, but shout out to Waffle House.
Shout out Waffle
we
House.
fucking love Waffle House.
I love Waffle House. Okay.
Oh my God. So one of the questions, so first of all, you walk in and there's like a whole team and them standing there, but they're just looking at you. Like you have to kind of,
yeah.
So I have my video guy and I'm like, okay. And you don't get to butter them up at all. You just like go in.
Like raw dog
and
it right off the bat.
everyone's just professional watching. Oh my God, I literally have ketchup on my jacket. Anyway, on my white shirt. So I remember I asked them, the first question was like, do you guys like sweet or savory for breakfast? And Kevin was like, I like savory. And then Nick was like, I like savory. And I was like, guys, you're not like not masculine if you like sweet for breakfast. And Nick goes, I'm a diabetic. The whole place gets silent. This is like early on. And I just went, and I knew in that moment, like I had to. So I start laughing. They start laughing. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And we like finished the interview. And
I need to take a break, insulin, anything like that?
No, and it went great. But like, I was so nervous, like even J-Lo, like I forgot to get a photo with her. Like you finish the interview and then you're just like yeah, because you feel so lucky that you're spending this intimate time with them.
Right.
And it's like 7 minutes is quick. Then I say thank you and I leave and I'm like, fuck, getting a photo. So then the boys, they did a little like meet and greet. And they went outside and I'm so bad with celebs. Like I'm hiding. Like I'm not risking. Like I'm not like, they'll love me if I just talk to them. Right. I'm assuming like they're fucking annoyed. They don't want to be here. Nothing I'm going to say is going to make them be like, wait.
Not risking it.
You know, people are delusional where they're like, if I talk to this celebrity, they'll want to be best friends with me.
Yes.
I'm immediately like, they'll block me. They'll be like, can you remove that girl?
Yes. I too, when I see famous people, like you couldn't like pry the phone from my dead cold hands to ask for a photo. I would never ever in my entire life. Reese Witherspoon, I literally just told this story to Claudia the other day. She asked me, I didn't know it was Reese Witherspoon. She was behind me at a store in Nashville around Thanksgiving. And she was like, how do you know that pie's good? And I was like, well, I don't. I'm just in charge of dessert and I have to get it. And she was like, oh, she was like, well, I might get one of those. And I was like, you should get one of those. And I'm like, oh my fuck, that was recent. And I was watching the morning show at the time and she was just like, we were just like having a chatty conversation about pies. She's like, love your jacket. And I was like, wanted so bad to be like, thanks, Reese. And I was like, and I was just like, thank you. And
wait, she was literally trying to be your friend.
Yeah, I'm like, first of all, you're obsessed with me.
You were like, honestly, I need some space. I'm having a morning and like, I just don't want to talk. You're like on the plane with Reese Witherspoon. You're like, can you stop showing me photos of your family?
My headphones in.
No, so I basically get the balls to like go up to Nick because I was like, how did I not get a photo? My first ever celeb interview. So I go, hey, sorry about the diabetes comment. And he laughs and he's like, he said something like, you gotta laugh at it. You gotta laugh. And I was like, can I bother you for a selfie? Even though I made fun of your diabetes. And he was like really chill about it. And I got it. And I was like, get out of here. So that's the only photo I have is a selfie with Nick and then the rest. But I also, my other one that I was freaking out was Jennifer Lawrence.
Because she's funny.
Hilarious. And you only have like 4 minutes with them. So it's like the
pressure is intense.
It feels like a first date that is only 4 minutes.
Speed
dating. Yeah. Where like if I mess up one sentence, they're like, this girl's fucking stupid. I don't want to fuck her. So then, but with her, I knew that she was like, we had some mutual friends. Like I was like, oh, like I know you know Heather McMahon, and she was like, yeah, and like maybe Jackie Schimmel, I don't know. And she was like, oh yeah, I've been at her pub. And then out of nowhere, I just go, and Amy Schumer. And she was like, oh, you know Amy? And I was just like, I don't know why I said Amy Schumer. Like, she's a comedian and like.
Oh, no.
And I just go, no, I don't know. And she looks at me and I was just like, okay, I'm so excited to be here with you.
Oh, I'm dead.
But then during it, she like, you could tell they're very tired sometimes. But regardless, like she wasn't acting tired and she was so funny. At one point I go, you know, you don't have to like beat this nice or like try this hard this interview. And she was like, what do you mean? It was so funny and nice that I was like,
you know what?
Is this too much for me to actually handle? And then my phone started buzzing during it. And she goes, oh, is that Des? So then I actually had to walk off set. I was like, wait. I realized she watched Summer House. So she knows.
Oh my gosh.
But I couldn't process it I couldn't process it all. I said, Jen, I need you to stop.
That's crazy. It's like when Emma Stone looked at Amanda Hirsch and said, love the pod. And she was like, I'm leaving. I'm going.
We're all consuming the same content.
Yes.
And like, but it's so weird for us because like, yeah, like some of my stuff goes viral, but I'm not a Hollywood person. Like,
Sure.
I've never been in a movie. I've never been on TV. I've never been on a real TV show. So like when someone who's Hollywood says they've seen you, you're like, that the math doesn't match.
It's like how Rihanna's obsessed with Vanderpump.
Yes.
And like you just have to imagine that like Tom Schwartz, she loves Tom Schwartz. Like she's like obsessed. Like she posts his face, Rihanna posts his face and says like, I love this man. Like imagine being Tom Schwartz, who's just like a goofy, silly guy who just like runs a sandwich shop and like tries to take care of this guy that cheats on his girlfriend. Like he's just Tom Schwartz.
He's like, I'm just making out with girls in Vegas. Like,
yeah. And then Rihanna is randomly like your biggest fan. Like that's crazy.
But you forget, like it doesn't matter how famous people are, they're allowed to be fans of people.
They want to rot in bed more than probably even us. They need to rot more than us in bed and watch TV.
Oh God.
This show is brought to you by Built Rewards. At some point, we've all felt that paying rent is kind of like setting your money on fire. We do not have the opportunity to help build credit, and our rent payments don't work towards a future down payment on a home. Well, I'm here to tell you that Built Rewards has figured out a way to do all of that and make rent more rewarding. They have launched the Built MasterCard, which lets you pay your rent and earn points without the transaction fee. Even if your landlord only takes checks, Built will mail in for you. You can then use those earned points towards hotels or flights, towards future rent payments, and even towards a down payment on a home. The Built MasterCard is the first card to offer points on rent with no transaction fee. To get rewarded for your largest expense seems like a no-brainer to me. Check it out. Earning points on your biggest expense with the Built card just makes sense. Earn points by paying rent now when you go to joinbuilt.com/probably. That's joinbilt.com/probably. Make sure to use my URL so they know that we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/probably to start earning points with your rent payments today.
I do have to say, Hailey Bieber was the craziest one though.
Yeah, what was that like?
We spent like
how much time?
Like 40 minutes.
Wow. Like, cause you had to like chill with her during her launch.
So first there was like the launch, which I was playing coy. Like I was sitting back, I was letting everyone talk to her.
JB was there.
JB was in the corner, just like with his friends, but like he was just there to support her.
You were at a moment that will go down
the cultural history.
Yeah, in pop culture history of their outfits. I mean, the Halloween costumes that we got out of that alone.
That is, see, like that's again something I can't process. But I remember there were whispers. There. It was just supposed to be her event, and then people were like, "Justin's coming," and we all start freaking out. And the reason he dressed like that is because it wasn't his event. Like it was her thing, and he was on the side, just like so. He was with all the production people, supporting her.
No. He
didn't want to make it about him.
We talked about this, and then it became all about them in outfits, which is great for her brand too.
Yes.
But we talked about this on the podcast too, because I was like, you know what? Like, oh, I had to do this. I did an interview I was like, did I talk about this on the podcast? I had an interview for this show where they wanted me to be the host of this like fashion show. And I literally got a call back, and it was the coolest thing ever. It was with E. It was so cool. And then they were like, you have to live in LA. And I was like, I don't live in LA. They're like, oh, sorry, then you can't come to the callback. I was like, why did you give me the opportunity? Like,
why did you crush every dream I ever had?
Fuck. They're like, you're perfect for the job. You just have to live in LA. I was like, I don't do that. But one of the questions was like, what do you think about that? And I said, I was like, what would you wear to your husband's work? Like, you wouldn't put on a suit and tie to go like drop off like lunch for your husband at work or something.
Literally.
Like,
oh, what was he gonna do? Wear a tux?
Yeah, like
and also he always wears cool stuff. He's Justin Bieber.
Like
but the cool thing was like, so then we went upstairs to do the like exclusive interview.
Right.
And she was like so normal girly. Like very normal girly.
Really?
Like just giggly. Like we were just waiting, and at one point we're talking about our husbands. I was like, oh, being with creative guys, you know how it is. And she was like, like she knew I was like joking, but I was like, yeah, I'm with a comic. Like it's never boring.
Life was celebs.
Life was celebs. And he's just like sitting there chilling with his friends, supporting. And at the end, we're like walking off. It just felt like honestly I met like a girl, like a girly, like very chill. And then I was like, you're from Long Island, right? And she's like,
is she?
Yeah, like her family's from Long Island.
Oh.
So I was just like, oh yeah, like my mom grew up in Long Island. And then we walk, and she just goes, oh, let me introduce you to my husband. Because like everyone was respecting him. Like,
yeah, of course.
And actually, at one point, I said I was like, he looks like he's in detention because he was sitting, and she started laughing. So I was making fun, and she goes, meet my husband. I was like, oh, your husband.
Also, like, I'm just so done, because that is how you would introduce him, because he is your fucking husband. She's not gonna be like, let me introduce you to Justin Bieber.
So she's like my husband, and then I am like a little older. Like I wasn't like
I wasn't a believer.
I wasn't Billie Eilish like crying over him type shit.
A believer,
but
right.
like I'm obsessed.
But it's Justin motherfucking Bieber.
Justin Bieber. So then he said something, we were like matching because like we all wore red to the event, and he was like, oh, so you guys are matching. I'm like, yeah, she texted me and told me this is what I had to wear. Like I said something and he laughed, and I was like, someone has a photo of him laughing looking at me,
put it in the history book.
So that was like,
hang it in the lore.
Something else happened. So he laughed, and then I kind of blocked it out, but I think I said something else that made him laugh, and then they were like coming into the elevator with us, and I was like, I can't. And I basically was like, I'll wait for it. I pretended something was happening. I was like,
you'll always be the cool girl that did
you
that,
have to end on top.
You do. You have
to.
You
get the laugh and go.
You have to be the cool girl. And you know what? With Reese and the pie, I didn't say anything else. And then 3 seconds later, 3 girls walked up to her and was like, "Can I get a photo?" And I thought to myself, she'll always remember me as the cool pie girl.
Yes. And some people be like, or you could have actually committed and become best friends with Justin Bieber at that time. But it's okay.
It's a long game.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
It's a long game.
And yeah, she also was like going through a crazy time at that point. And I remember I even like yelled at her. I was like, you can't look at the comments.
Yeah, we can't.
And I was like, I can't believe I'm yelling at Hailey Bieber not to look at the comments.
You're like giving her a fucking
But imagine Hailey
love.
Bieber just wanting to scroll her TikTok and every video is about you.
And like your For You page is going to be stuff that's like you like. And
twisted towards you.
Yeah, so I'm sure she just fucking sees that shit.
So she was just like really chill, giggly, like trying to make me laugh too.
I love that.
But long story short, I think the concept of me kind of making fun of the guys has made some celebrities who want to show that they can make fun of themselves.
Yes.
Been like a good collab for me.
And some people need that. Some people like, God, you know who really needs that? You should do that with Anne Hathaway. She needs more of that, because like some people do get a bad rep, and you would give them an opportunity to like make fun of themselves, to laugh, to like have that moment. And like, it's not celebs' fault that we like fucking peer into their lives and like dictate everything, and then we have all these podcasts where we like micro dictate it even more and like spread it apart
and then put them into a like storyline and like a character that we want. Like Megan Fox, so she's like, I never said I wanted to be that person that you guys made me.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also, we obviously deal with it on like the smallest scale. but like people create like ideas of like what our lives are like or whatever, and we know that doesn't feel good. So like theirs is on such a huge level. You literally
feel dirty. Like you feel dirty because they put stuff on you that isn't you.
Right.
And then you have to walk around with it and you don't know how to get it off.
Yeah, because you're like, I can't, like, I saw this TikTok that was like, Beyonce doesn't go outside of her house to the street and fight with a crackhead. Because like, why would she do that? like she doesn't see a crackhead.
I was like, wait, I'd pay money to watch that.
I mean, I would love to see that. But like, it's like that concept, but it's so hard, especially when you're not a mega superstar. I'm like, I'm not fucking Selena Gomez. So like, I want to like protect my good name. I also don't have $1 billion to cry
I'd
into.
rather have $1 billion crying than it's like, okay, now I can't get a brand deal.
Yeah. Like, I hate this. So yeah, it's just one of those things where you're like walk around with the stink. So it's nice that you give people this opportunity to kind of like not only show that they're real people, but like that they have a side of them that's not this like.
Well, yeah, because it's not even their fault. Sometimes all their interviews become these really like straightforward like PR, just like so they don't even get to show their personality. Right,
they're in a box. I mean, like you said, sometimes they don't even get to be asked the questions that they want.
I've also done like when I had to do some PR, like they would after the interview tell people to take stuff out that I said because they thought it might be like a little like I made like a gun joke once that was I mean it was like a very funny thing, and they were like, we don't want that kind of stuff, and I'm like, but that's what makes me like I'm making a joke to like raise awareness about stuff in my way that might be a little like off color for like, but I'm like, I'm not a celebrity.
We're also not a straight-laced gals.
That would just make me boring.
But you're also, and this is one thing to very importantly know, and this is like you're a comedian, like you're a professional comedian. And
it's contextual,
all the time, like jokes are not funny unless you push the bounds. Like we don't go to a stand-up joke to see like nice straight-laced jokes. Like we need to as human beings like release laughter at really inappropriate stuff and look around and see people that are all different shapes, sizes, looks, faces, skins, all laughing at the same inappropriate joke. And be like, oh wait, we can do it. Everything isn't offensive. Well, look at us all here laughing at the same
always say like
joke.
As the most offensive thing is when you say something offensive that isn't funny.
Yes.
Like that's just and sometimes that does happen, and that's when people like do get in trouble. You're like, that was not funny. What was the point of that? It's all about context. Like when I get like kind of, did you say controversial? Like I have some like abortion bits, and I have some because I want people to think about things in a different way. Yeah. And you flip stuff, and comedy's fun to be able to make people question like normal roles, gender roles, and
100%.
So I love it, but it's always like, why are you doing that joke to make someone feel bad? or because something's actually funny.
Right. And there are so many like taboo topics that have funny elements around them.
Yes.
Like that you can bring to the light that you could like make
exactly
people more aware of.
And I always say, like, Paige and I talk about, it's so easy to just be mean and be like, that was a joke. And it's like, that humor is just so not my kind of humor.
No, and it's also fucking such a cop-out, and it's so lame, and
it's lame, like it. It's clickbaity, and it's like, especially when something bad's happening to someone and everyone's just jumping on the bandwagon.
Yes.
And especially because, like, it could be us the next day.
100%.
So I have to have this new perspective where it's like, okay, let's see the bigger picture of it all, and let's make our own content that isn't just like, I mean, like we were like saying, like JoJo Siwa is just like expressing her art, and she's probably like a freaking abused child star. Yeah. Like, look what happened to Amanda Bynes. Yes. But you guys are now like, let's attack JoJo Siwa, and I'm like, I feel like there's better people to attack.
Yeah, 100%. But also, but JoJo is loving it a little bit. Like,
well, she likes the marketing of it all.
The marketing of it all is great, and I'm like, but I feel like, have you seen this clip of like Tana talking about how like JoJo said it hurt her feelings when she like did a like funny like TikTok about her, and like Tana's like, there's no world where I call JoJo Siwa and I say like, hey girl, do you mind if I like ask if you've ever taken a perk 30? Like it was a joke, like it was funny. I don't have to ask permission to joke about stuff that everyone else is joking about, because she didn't say like, what the fuck is wrong with her? She was like, I don't know about all this bad girl energy. Have you ever taken a perk 30, JoJo? Like it was like, that's so funny.
Well, Tana's another one where it's hard because I see her as like hilarious.
Me too.
I only really know her recently, and I'm literally joke about her and Brooke, and I'm like, you guys are comedians. Yeah. And I think some people see her as like, oh, that's my friend, or like, oh, that's that girl who's like was doing just YouTube videos, where I'm like, she's creating funny content.
No, they both are. They're both very
They're trying
funny.
To make people laugh.
They're trying to make people laugh. They are making people laugh, and like I love their show. Yes. I just think it's fantastic when they have that air of like, I don't give a fuck. Like when they name drop, I'm like, my god. They tell stories that are so specific that the person who it's about will they're not changing any elements. They're like, then we got there at 7 p.m. and the girl looked at me and said, and I quote, and I'm like, oh my god, but I'm like, I'm obsessed.
They pull out a voice recording.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, but
Brooke's like, I was wearing a wire.
Yeah. I had a wire on, bitch. Like, I just love that. I love that energy. I love that, like, because that's when you do feel like you're watching a show that you're on FaceTime with your girls. Mm-hmm. Like, they give that energy. You give that energy. I think I give that energy when people meet me, that they're like, oh my god, I feel like I know you, because like that's what I want people to feel like.
Mm-hmm. I do think our like past with like reality TV has made us yearn for that, like to feel most authentically yourself. Yeah. And I think that experience, and it probably is with you too, is I'd rather people see my comedy, see my conversations, and be like, she's not for me, but at least I felt like they saw me for me.
It's really you.
And so I'd always will try that, because it just makes you, I could sleep at night knowing people at least saw me for me,
for who you are, whether they like it or not. And I think you do a really good job too. Like, obviously the success that you have is just like through the fucking roof. But, and I was talking to Claudia about this before, because I was like, what should I talk to Hannah about? I have 1,000 things written down. She was like, you and Hannah are so similar. I was like, no, nah. She's, what do you mean? No. She's like, no, I mean that like y'all both did the reality TV thing. Y'all both got like fired essentially. Not,
we did.
Like, can I say that? Yeah. Like, they were like, bye, and I was like, no, I stay here with you guys, make money forever. I'm more famous. That's what I need for me personally. I don't have a job.
And we also both were like were helpful for storylines with the show.
I was like, wait, you're firing me?
Yeah, you're like, I am trucking this along.
What the fuck? But she said that we both did a really good job of like not making that our whole personality, identity, our shtick. Like, we were like, you know what, that was something else, and then we can move past it, and we can like not make it our whole identity. And like,
it honestly gave us confidence, I feel like, to be like, oh wait, we like being on camera, and that's hard to admit as women, that we want to take up space.
That's crazy. People I always say it. I'm like, love. People are like, why were you upset, Kristen? Like, her and y'all's. I was like, no, I loved being on TV.
Yeah, but then once you get that bug, you're like, okay, I want to do that more, and then you also realize like, people probably enjoy your pod so much more than the show, because you're actually more interesting as yourself. Where sometimes with reality TV, they'll make people who aren't interesting, and that's why they lean in it and stay in it. But
so true.
Because they get to be this person they're not.
Right.
And then some people will meet them in real life and be like, they kind of suck. And it's like, yeah, that's why they're still on reality TV.
Wait, that's such
That was
a good
fucked
point.
up a meme, but I feel like it's a
No,
fact.
I mean, you're not talking about everybody. You're just...
Not everyone, no.
If you are offended by that, look inward. Why do you think that applies to you?
No, but it's true. Like, if I could just suddenly be made really funny because they use certain confessionals, or suddenly I'm like really calm and don't react to things because that's how I act during filming. Like, it is, you get like obsessed with this character, and I think the character can be very not multidimensional, which is not especially for women.
That's not
we
who
are
we are.
Multi-fucking hyphenating motherfuckers.
You're really blowing my mind right now because that's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. And you're making me think of like a bunch of shows I watch. You're making me think of the show that I was on. And I thought about this girl that was on the show, and it's not her fault that she really, because she was like projected as this like very mature, like I was outlandish. And I bet there were times where she wanted to pop the fuck off, and she was like, I can't. I'm the calm one. Like I'm mature.
Paige and I would joke in the beginning. They had this scene where they were like, oh yeah, Hannah's the like crazy like talks about sex and stuff, and Paige is just, she was pretending to be a virgin for her parents, which was so funny at the time. And I was like, why are you doing this?
Hilarious.
And she's like, my dad watches this. And I'm like, you're 27.
Does your dad think you're a virgin?
So they had me like get her a vibrator or something, and it was like this big whole thing, and everyone's like, Hannah's crazy. Meanwhile, I'm a fucking prude. Yeah. and now Paige has like become her own. But it's so funny that it's like, it was just characters they wanted to put us in.
They wanted to put us in boxes.
They wanted to put us
in boxes. Guys, if you're getting the springtime jitters where you're just a little bored of all the stuff that you normally do, then why not plan something that you've never done before? Whether you're planning a special date or you just need a break from the same old evening on the couch, I've got the inside scoop on the best way to get tickets to shows and other fun events in your city. And that is Today Tix, okay? Today Tix is the best night out that you haven't had yet, with the best value on tickets to amazing things going on all around you. And getting tickets is as easy as ordering takeouts, all right? Now, I love staying in, I love ordering takeout, but like the way that just gets old, and I need just a fun, fabulous night out. I want to go to a show, baby. I want to go to a show. So just go into the Today Tix app or visit todaytix.com. Scroll through their offerings, okay? There is so much stuff that you've always wanted to check out and stuff that you probably never even heard about otherwise. I have found so many things that I would have never known if I hadn't gone to this, and I'm like, you know what? That might be fun. And then I go, and it is a blast. Then just check out a few tabs, get your tickets sent right to your phone. Now, they've got tickets to shows on Broadway and the West End, okay? So if you're trying to see Rachel McAdams and Mary Jane, if you're trying to see some of your beloved book adaptations like The Notebook, The Outsiders, The Great Gatsby, like they have it, guys, okay? They have it if you want it. And you can book a show in advance or be spontaneous. This is what I usually do. I'm usually just like bored on the couch, had enough, I'm spontaneous. You can be spontaneous and check out what's on for tonight, okay? That's what I did whenever I went and saw The Notebook in Broadway. We were just there. It was the day, we had an extra day. I was like, you know what? Let me just go to todaytix.com and I'm just gonna see if there's anything available. Boom, The Notebook was there. Boom, we went. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. Helped me change up my routine. Was such a fun outing. We loved it. So Today Tix also gives you access to exclusive pre-sales, lotteries, and specially priced rush tickets. So go to todaytix.com/probably and use promo code probably to get $20 off your first Today's Tix purchase. That is promo code probably at todaytix.com/probably. todaytix.com/probably. Speaking of boxes, your Netflix special.
TV, I like that.
TV.
That was a good segue.
Do you, whenever you're writing your bits, do you find segues the hardest?
That is such a good comedy question.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I actually have a pretty bad memory.
Okay.
Like that's just always how I've been. Like in school, I had to like work extra hard to study stuff. Like, you know, those people who would be like, yeah, I looked at it. Yeah, memorizing. I'm not good at. So I really have to make it like a story for me to go on stage and do my hour and really remember it. Yeah. So it's like when I go on stage, I'm like, okay, I'm talking about my relationship. And then that goes into like when I was single, and then that goes into my mental health. So it's like like it ends with my like marriage. So I have it's almost like an album. Like there's a reason for everything.
For the order of something.
So when I think of a joke, sometimes I'm immediately thinking, oh, this fits in right here.
Right.
And it's funny how it is pretty, or sometimes like I do this bit about like riding a dick.
Yes.
And then I go into a thing about politics. So I kind of love that there's no segue. So then I always go after the dick riding joke, I go, there's no easy way to segue this, but I'm really into politics lately. So you can kind of lean into like there's no segue.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I just love the fact that there's no rules in stand-up.
Right.
But I like people feeling like they're on this like journey and we're telling a story, so by the end it's really cohesive, and that's just my own style. Some people would just be doing like one-liners. I wouldn't be able to remember my material like that.
Yeah, I was just talking, I was on Taylor Strucker's podcast yesterday, and she was asking me about my show because I've tried to shift it now, so it's like just an hour of just like stand up. There's no like confessionals or anything like that like with it. And I had to like, I was like, once I wrote it all out, I was like, this is 22 pages. How do I fucking remember it all? And I was like, I have to make it all flow. Yes. So then you're like taking pieces and parts. You're like, what will remind me on stage when I'm already nervous, I'm already freaked out, I already have all this like words in my mind. What will remind me? Okay, I'm talking about my new house. All right, well then I'll talk about my parents visiting, how they're British and he's American, and I'm like, it has to flow or else I forget too, because
it becomes like a song. And it's funny. Gorgeous little song. But it is this weird thing where you stand on stage and it really is not a speech. I try to tell people, like, you're not just doing a hour speech. Like,
it's like a monologue.
But it's this beautiful, like, dance with the audience.
Yeah,
where like they're giving you energy, you're giving them energy.
Right.
So I try to, because I actually get very bored with myself. So like I couldn't just be like giving a speech. I think that's why I do so much crowd work, because I'm like, enough about me. What the fuck's going on with this couple in the front?
What are you guys doing right here?
Why are you wearing that?
No, but that's like when I went and saw you at the stand. So, like
that was a long time ago.
I know. That was when I was like living here.
When you're like, we're in here, we're gonna be best friends.
We're gonna be best friends. I'm gonna be here all the time. I love you. Bye, bitch.
I was like, this is our spot.
This is like the new hang. Like
I literally forgot about that.
It was great. No, but I love your crowd work. It's really funny, and it's always different, which is nice, because I'm sure you don't want to post all your bits on your social media, because then why do you need to go to a show if you've seen all the jokes already and then you like ruin your punchline? But your crowd work is so good, so funny.
Thank you.
Did you get to do crowd work on your Netflix special, or were
I
you
actually
like,
did?
Yeah,
but it was.
Did you plant seeds?
So I do have parts that I always will go into crowd work, like certain subjects I know I always ask a certain thing. So it's like kind of like planned crowd work.
Yeah.
And I kind of am used to all the directions that they could take it, and I know what to say. So it's like it's me basically doing this for years.
It's like Mad Libs. You're like, give me any word, but it'll make sense.
Literally. Or like I call it, like I have my tricks and stuff, but then actually some stuff in Netflix, it went rogue in like the best way, where I was like, the comedy gods,
look it out,
because you do need a little help from them, because sometimes people are really like, they're giving me nothing,
right?
And I can joke about that, but it's like basically the name of this one girl like was hilarious, and we went into this whole thing. Her mom was there, so I was like, thank you. But Netflix, there's not a lot of crowd work going on, but I'm leaning into it because it's what I like to do. And I didn't even know how to do crowd work. My husband literally was like, you just have to throw yourself into uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, and you're so quick. You have to be like, you can, like, someone could be really good at delivering comedy. Someone could be a really incredible comedian that's like, the delivery is amazing. There's this, but like, if you're not quick, like if you don't have wit, like actual wit about you, then like you can't do crowd work, because you won't know what to say, because it's not premeditated.
And it's so funny, because for the stand-up, it was the first time I was telling Claudia too, like everything had to be filmed. So like normally it's just me being, you have to be very loosey-goose, witty, quick. You can't be overthinking stuff, because it just has to be free. So but for the special, I was so nervous, because I was like, this is it.
It's a Netflix special, bitch. It's a Netflix special.
So like, honestly, I was like back talking to my therapist. I was like, what's going on?
What does this mean? What is my life?
But I got this like, right before I got on stage, I got this calmness about me, and I did it. And I was like, it just like, whenever you try to hit a new milestone in your life, your demons try to bring you back down. And I survived it, and I felt, but it was really like, honestly, like the gigglers and like just like my support of my family and friends and stuff helped me be like, you're gonna survive. It's gonna be okay. Sweet. But it was crazy.
It's nuts. When does it come out?
It's gonna come out. Okay.
You don't have to say if you're not allowed to say. Sorry.
It's like not confirmed, but I think it could be coming out sooner than later.
Okay, not confirmed, but sooner than later. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm editing it right now.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Watching yourself is not always.
No, I mean, you and I share the same disability, which is that we like genuinely, I like the right side of our faces. I'm so sorry that I kind of put you there.
No, I'm a guest.
Once,
I'm a literal guest.
No, usually I'll let my guest have it, because I'm on this podcast all the time. So I'm like, if it's your side, but I'll offer once. And if they say like, no, don't be silly, I'll offer again. And then you didn't take the second bait. So I was like, this is my good side. So I'm gonna stay.
lean in.
I'm going to stay.
But there is a science behind it though. They say that like, your left side's your more feminine side or something.
Well, yeah, because this is a bridge troll. That would check out, surely. And now I favor this side so much that this side doesn't even like move the same way. It's like my mom sometimes says, she's like, you're doing some like weird Elvis thing where you only talk out of this side of your mouth. Like this side, I'm like, this one doesn't exist. Like it's just dead to me. Like I don't like know you're there.
I wonder how many people have monster sides. I did ask JLo. I was like, which side do you want? And she was like, what? And I was like, oh.
She's like, what are you talking about? I just put olive oil on my face before I got here as my skincare routine, and
she's like, I'm here.
My face is.
And I was like, okay, well, I look like a fucking monster.
Wait, oh my god, I would hate that. I'd be like, how do you respond? Like, because then you're implying that she might have a better side. She's like, what do you mean? It's perfectly symmetrical, and I'm here. What do you fucking need from me? Holy shit, that's crazy. And also, all that shit that happened to my face was my good side, and so it really it brought a new perspective. It's the only time that I had to lean into this side, because what the fuck else was happening over here, and I was still like, honestly, this side's not eating. Like it's just still this side's better, even
but
bruised.
People will tell you no, like they'll like my friends will be like, they look the same, and I'm like, now I feel like even crazier.
They're gaslighting you.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And I remember the TikTok trend that was like, the funny
like,
audio where you go like something, and then the voice changes and it's like, hello. And it's like, I did my second face and all my friends were like, how'd you make your face look like that? I was like, that's the other side.
Yes. I know what it is. My
ugly?
nose is cuter on this side. My eyebrows cuter. There's just like things happening. And it's not the kind of thing that like you could like go to the surgeon and fix it. It's an energy.
Look like me on that side.
It's an energy that I just don't. And because then what if they do something this side that messes up the other side?
So true.
So we're just living this really difficult life. But what did I message you? I think I messaged you. Thank God you have a great personality.
Oh, you did
because it was true. Your personality shone through.
That's nice. I had to. It was really. I really did like kind of lock myself in the house because like I just like felt so uncomfortable. I was like, how do ugly people do it? They just walk around grocery shopping and stuff. Like this is crazy.
They have to have a personality.
Like this is crazy. And like because mine was so nuts, everyone was asking about it.
Yeah.
But then I could also tell people felt because it was my face and it was a really big bruise right on the jaw. I could tell some people didn't want to ask about it, and so then I found myself like I couldn't. James was like, you don't have to tell everyone. Like we were like at the post office and James and I were there together and I was like, isn't it crazy? I got a hematoma from my dentist. Can you imagine? And the guy's like, how many stamps did you want again? I just like I felt the need to tell him me. Like I'm okay. Like
get ahead of it.
Like
I come in with a sign.
Yeah, like I'm fine. This was a freak accident. Like I didn't get in a street fight. Like imagine I'm here in New York. I would have gotten so much attention. Actually, that would have been nice.
You would have.
And I'm an influencer. I would just be like, ugh.
Would you? Yeah, you would. Someone punch me. Did you? Are you afraid of the dentist now?
No, I'm not because like the dentist, it wasn't really her fault. It was like a freak accident. And like I was at first, like, cause like immediately you want to blame someone and like she seemed like a pretty good target.
Yeah.
And I called like a bunch of my friends who were like really big dentists and they were like, it's so rare. But like it could happen. And I was like, okay.
Only the best looking people it happens to.
It only happens to
when I got
like
my
you.
wisdom teeth out, I got a infection. I got an infection that like is hard. Just like in my jaw.
Like were you smoking?
Good. No, it's just like one of the rare. Only certain important people does that happen to.
Only certain important people. I smoked a Newport on the street yesterday, which was so weird. Isn't that weird? I just saw someone smoking a cigarette. I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke. I never have smoked. And Claudia looked at me and she goes, "You're not inhaling that."
Wait, did I ever tell you about when me and Paige went to Nashville?
No. Why is your show? Why is the Giggly Squad? Because you guys are about to go on tour and talk about that.
We have to set that. The thing is, like, we did a first run of shows based on like availability of venues.
Right.
So like, let me see what I could do because Nashville seems.
Just do it at my house.
Yeah. No, literally.
Just have some people over.
But when we went to Nashville, I wanted to walk to what's like the main Times Square street. Broadway. And I was like, Paige, you have to go Broadway. But for some reason, I wanted to walk there. And she was like, is it close? And I'm like, yeah. And we ended up walking like 20 minutes. And she's like bleeding, screaming, crying, throwing up. But I wanted to walk. But I was like, yeah, it's 2 minutes away. Then we get there and it's so loud.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like it's so
intense.
loud.
And your fan base is definitely there. So y'all are probably getting like mauled.
Well, we were just like, it was a lot of stimulation.
Very.
We ended up going to Margaritaville because we wanted something that was quiet. Because there's all these old eating at Margaritaville with no music.
You went to Broadway and you went to Margaritaville.
We ordered
you can go to that in Destin. You can go to that
we go
cheeseburger
anywhere. We literally got a cheeseburger because we'd walk in and we'd be like, it's too loud.
It's like people that go to Times Square and go to that Applebee's.
Yes.
It's
like so ripped off. It's like $80 for a burger at Applebee's.
What the fuck?
So we were like, it was horrible. But then we had so much fun in Nashville, like the crowd, but we didn't get to experience Nashville.
No, you need to experience it. Come back.
We also just like sober. It was like 2 p.m.
Actually,
we just got off a flight.
Never mind. Don't do a show in Nashville. Just come visit.
Okay.
Just come stay.
I can make that happen.
We'll have a girls trip.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun.
That'll be so fun.
Whether you guys want to be on it or not, you're stuck. So strap in because we are on my hair journey. All right. She's getting married. She needs luscious, thick, gorgeous locks, and she didn't want to wear extensions. She is me. Okay, I'm talking about me. I don't know why I'm talking in third person, but I wanted my natural hair to get back to what it was. Okay. I had glued in extensions. All right. I had individual hair extensions for 11 years and it definitely did a number on my hair and its health. Okay. And that is a given. All right. But then I cut my hair into a bob 2 years ago. And while that definitely helped start anew, I just wanted to start over and grow my hair naturally. I wanted to get it truly healthy. And that is where Nutrafol comes in. Okay. It came highly recommended to me by many hair gurus and just friends in general who have used the product and love their results. So If you have hair thinning, hair shedding, or you just want to get your hair back to its healthiest place, Nutrafol can help you get there. I actually gave it as a gift to my mom. She was obsessed. The results that I see personally from taking Nutrafol are just genuinely so obvious. There are many reasons behind the hair thinning, and Nutrafol addresses the root of the issue. So they are starting within, and it's also the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve visible thickness and strength. Now, I've given Nutrafol as a gift, like I said, to my mom, to my friends, but especially my friends who are struggling with postpartum hair loss as well. It is plant-based. It has drug-free science-backed ingredients, so you get the most reliable results. I love how my natural hair has been growing, especially because I really, like I said, I want my hair to be its healthiest and most gorgeous self for my wedding this year. So if you want to take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair for a limited time, Nutrafol is offering my listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code PROBABLY. Find out why 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code PROBABLY. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code PROBABLY. Do you know what was also traumatizing that I was thinking about? And also, by the way, they are on tour. Giggly Squad is coming to a city near you.
Yes.
Like quite literally every city but Nashville. There's like fucking
everyone
80,
but Nashville.
Every 80 cities.
We said avoid Shannon
at all costs.
cost.
I just met Paige recently when we all did that girls' dinner. She's such a legend.
Wait.
Like, so like nervous around her. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, fuck, you're so fucking cool. Like really cool. Like not trying to be cool. Like every day I wake up and I think, what designer item can I put on my body to seem more cool? Like what could I spend money on atrociously to be more cool? Like she just is, you know. She is.
As someone who knew Paige pre-fame, she always had star quality.
Yes,
like she just has a star quality about her.
She does.
But also, I was so jealous because I was manifesting. The second I met you, I messaged Paige and Sierra and I said, we have a new New York girly friend. We're gonna hit it off with her. She has such a good sense of humor. She's so funny. She's so hot. You put us in a group
chat.
Yes.
Oh my
God.
I
was manifesting it. And
that
then
was so nice.
Who knows where I was? Because actually, it was a lot of girlies, but yeah, you were all together, and then I was literally texting multiple ones of you, being like, "What's going on?
What's going on? What's happening?
How's it going?"
You were not in town, by the way.
I know I was not in town. But it made me happy.
It was good
because it was like I like feeling like I connected people even though I didn't.
You didn't. No. You and Claudia were like the sorcerers who kind of meshed it all together. It was a really good squadron.
And Paige never goes on. We joke that group dinners stress us out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think every girl there collectively was slightly like stressed. Like everyone was probably individually. No, maybe not. Probably not Paige. but I feel like the other
Paige could not have been more chill.
Yeah, the other girls were texting Claudia like, so what is the vibe? Like, what are we wearing? Like, what's like? And it was like, it was like Tinks and it was just like I was like, what is she gonna be wearing? Like, Tinks had literally just unblocked me recently. So I was like, what are we gonna do? Like, this is gonna be fun. No, it's great. She's like such a fun
how Claudia's like, if we're gonna do this, I need
it's gonna
drama. I want to see sparks flying. No, good for them. I always say I think I'm good one-on-one. Like I love one-on-one. Like I'm that person at the party that will find someone and then we'll be like,
pull them into a corner.
Yeah, and then we'll like trauma dump and then I'll like whatever. When it's multiple people, I like don't know when to talk. I'm like, am I doing too much? Am I doing too little?
I feel that way. I'm like, I don't want to hijack stories. I want to make sure my stories are I want to make sure
I'm gonna listen to someone speak. You're like, listen. Remember your question. Oh no, I forgot my question.
Wait. This is me podcasting. I literally like if you actually watch this on YouTube, you can watch me like when I have guests, you can watch me like physically taking a breath to speak and then like hold it and be like and I'm like fucking suffocating with what I want to say.
We both have ADHD because sometimes I'll interrupt people just because I actually don't want to forget my question that I really want to know.
By the way, if I interrupt you, people are like, if you're interrupting, like just listen. If I interrupt you, I'm listening.
That's why I always say, if you speak, if you speak and I have to wait and I wait 5 seconds to respond, I was thinking about lunch.
Yeah, 100%.
So but that's also why you do fit in with New York, because we just talk on top of each other.
But me and Claudia do that too. Claudia just said that I just presume. I'm sorry, I don't know. You don't give me Swiftie energy. Do you like? Her music?
I love Taylor Swift.
Yes.
I don't know if they would put me down. Like, I don't know the words to every song.
You don't have to be a Swiftie. I was just wondering if you would listen to the
It's so funny how you're like, you don't have Swiftie energy. So, like, I know enough.
Okay.
Like, I know more than Paige.
Oh, okay. She does not give me Swiftie energy. Okay.
She went to the Taylor Swift concert. And
she did?
She didn't with Craig. And she said that like Claudia was, you know, when you make eye contact and someone's singing the song.
Yes.
And Paige was like, I just couldn't keep up with all the lyrics.
It's like shake it. She's like, what's the next word?
I just think Taylor's like I look up to her, but like in a different way, like in a business.
I think women supporting women was the route you're going with Taylor Swift.
Exactly. Because I also was never a country person, really.
Yeah. You don't give me that you know all her music, and I was just gonna say that because there was this Claudia did this TikTok, and it's this like new song that she has, and it's like the lyric is. I'll tell you right now, I'd rather burn my whole house down. And now all the TikToks are funny of all the things you'd rather do than burn your whole house down. And Claudia's was like interrupting people. And I'm like, yes.
So funny.
That is just like what brings me joy. Just conversating with people who understand it and get it. And just like.
Do you know when people go, oh, sorry, you were speaking? I go, we don't play that game. You just go. Bulldoze me, I'll bulldoze you.
I have trauma because James is sober. She's like, oh, if I could just finish. I'm like, oh, no.
Wait, my husband's sober too.
Oh, no. Sober? I said he's British.
Oh. Wait. I literally thought you said sober.
Wait, I'm like, wait.
I go, I guess when he's sober, he's like, can you shut up, you drunk bitch?
wait. And then I was really trying to think of what word I said that must have sounded like sober. And so it took me a second. I was like, what did I just say?
Roll the tape.
Wait, roll the tape. Did I? I said he's British. I said he's British. And you're like, yeah, my husband's sober too. Which, by the way, both categories equally as boring. Both categories are not a positive.
Okay, can we shit on British people? Because I dated a British guy back in the day. British Dave, he was on Summer House, who I love, the sweetest.
But British is a synonym for sober and boring.
No, but they're like obsessed that they invented English, like English language. So they think that all their like he'll be like sidewalk. It's so literal.
Oh,
you walk on the sidewalk.
They're pulling that from a comedian, by the way. That a comedian's a British comedian's bit is sidewalk.
Yeah.
Because you walk on the side of
what
the
do they call it?
Pavement. Whatever.
Okay. Well,
they call I have like a bit in my set now about like obviously like a whole like British versus American family, like mother-in-laws and family and how like it coheses.
I feel like with the Brits.
But they're very passionate about their language.
They're better in that capacity that and we're all dummies.
And like forks, like I actually went to like finishing school. Like I'm just so Southern like that. That like I grew up with like no money, but my mom was like, we will spend the time. Like we will spend the time. You will learn what fork, what this. So like I went to this like it was once a week for like a very long time. And the very final like class is you go to this really like white tablecloth place and you use all your skills. Okay. Mm-hmm. So like I fucking know, you know? And then like James, when I first met him, he was like, you didn't do, obviously, which is fine. Most Americans don't know. And I was like, wait, I know. I was like, I know. And then he looked at me like, you couldn't possibly know. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I picked up this fork. He's like, it's the way you hold your fork. Like, it's the way you do it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Because my husband moved to live in Ireland when he was 14, he has a lot of like kind of British Irish words. Like he'll say lovely, where I always say like, straight men in New York will never say lovely, but British guys will say quite. They say lovely, quite lovely. Yeah. Where like imagine a straight New York guy being like, yeah, it was quite lovely. Everyone's like, what is going on?
That's such a good point. James says quite all the time. He says like that's quite nice. Like nice. They use it for the word that we use actually. Yeah. Like it's actually really nice.
So I'll start saying quite, and my friends will be like, what?
I say things here and there, but what my main thing that I've done, I don't like people are like, I didn't turn into fucking, what's the girl's name that's married to Alec Baldwin?
Oh yeah, Hilaria.
I do, it's the inflection of the way I say questions. So the proper English way of speaking is that if there's a question mark at the end of a sentence that you would raise your voice in a question. Like, do you want to go to the beach later? Yes. Like, but that's actually, like, we don't speak like that. We're like, do you want to go to the beach later? Yeah. We go down. Like, we're like, do you want to grab lunch after this?
Yes. But when you're talking to him so long, it's that like, you connect with him. Yeah. Like Des says, there's frustration, and he says it differently. He says, now I'm blanking on what it is. I'm frustrated. He goes, I'm frustrated.
I'm frustrated.
He says frustrated, and then I started saying that, and people like, I forgot which one was right or wrong for a second. I got really confused.
No, but you're right, like frustrated or I'm frustrated.
Honestly, like the problem with me and Des is that he can speak like 3 languages, and I will choke on my own saliva. So like we don't.
That's James. When speaking of trauma from our significant others, let's just lean into this really quick. The podcast started an hour. We have to wrap this up, guys. We literally have to wrap this up. But it should be noted, and it has to be noted. A skein. Hannah,
Do we have another hour?
do we have 3 more hours?
Okay.
I can't even believe it.
I did not come from a ski family.
But you give ski energy. You give skier energy. Didn't you do
well,
tennis?
I'm an athlete.
Tennis, right?
Yeah, I'm tennis. But like,
Sorry, sidebar. What do you think about Zendaya's tennis outfits?
I think the outfits are amazing. I have very strong opinions on the actual movie that I didn't see. I didn't see the movie. Long story short.
You have a strong opinion about a movie you didn't see?
Long story short, first of all, just from the trailer, the way she's holding the tennis racket is so disrespectful to the sport of tennis.
Oh, no.
And that's the thing. It's amazing for women in sports. It's amazing for awareness of tennis. But it's like you would never do a football movie with a quarterback holding the ball wrong. So it's a little bit like, oh, so you don't care because it's like a woman playing a sport.
Right. And like when they do like Rocky movies, they like work out for fucking 85 years.
Yeah, and like the King Richard, they did amazing.
Yeah.
And there were apparently like Brad Gilbert, not to call people out, was supposedly like the tennis guy, but like he must have been asleep because you can't just move. Like she's literally holding the racket wrong. And then she tore her ACL just like walking sideways. And then she was like Tom Brady tore his ACL and won a Super Bowl. It's not a career-ending injury. So anyway, factually, it's all wrong. But apparently, people are really liking it, like because it's all about like threesomes. But then I was mad. I literally keep doing this, but I'm mad that the 2 guys they chose do not look like hot tennis players. Hot tennis players are like Google Matteo Berrettini.
No one
like,
has to Google them. We all watch that fucking Breakpoint
dude,
show, and
like
we
know
know
these guys are fucking huge and hot. They have these, no offense,
Like-
little British twinks.
Yeah.
And James is not one of them. But these
James
British
is large.
guys are not good at tennis. First of all, there's only one. Like Henman was good at tennis, and
When we went to Wimbledon, I said, "Where's the like statues for the guys that won it that are British?" She's like, "Oh, British people never win.
they never
Wimbledon."
win. And I don't even know if they're British in the movie, but they look British. And they're just look. Tennis guys are always like 6'2",
Yeah,
hot,
tall,
big.
hot.
They're all like Spanish and like
Hot.
German. And just every
Like,
college
strong
tennis
energy.
team. Like look at college. They're just hot. So anyway. I would have done things differently, but I heard the movie's really good. But for tennis, I would have done things differently.
But skiing, I would have assumed that you were good at skiing, so you
No.
so no. So you were just as traumatized. Where'd you guys? Where'd you go?
So Des loves skiing. So he spoiled me, and the first time we went skiing was like this place he loved, and it was during COVID, so it was like there was not a lot of people around. I did lessons every day, but like we're intense. Like I had to do 3-hour lessons in the morning, lunch, and then show him what I learned in the afternoon.
No.
But we're like type A like that.
No,
Like,
no,
that's-
you're like
So I got like
shackled.
I got really
That is
like
so
to the point
scary.
where I was like, he's like, I think you're ready for blue today, and I was like, no, babe, I don't think I'm ready. And he's like, I believe in you, and I'm like, okay, daddy. Like
Wait.
it's my own issues.
Yeah.
So then
No, it kind of seems sexual. Like it
was
like,
hot.
It's like really
Like, he believed in
like,
me.
I'm gonna like watch you for 3 hours and then you're not ready. She's like, I'm ready. I swear. He's like, I'll think about it. Like it feels like some like weird cat and mouse like sexual thing. And
I
I'm
have
like,
daddy issues. My dad was my coach. Anyway, so then we go to Aspen for the first time, and oh no,
So you had a good and enjoyable
I
experience.
had an okay experience where I wasn't enjoying it. I more was like determined to get better.
You were learning and
it was
you weren't
purely
hating your
a get
life.
better, but I was hating my life. I've never cried more in my life.
Got it.
I cried every time on the mountain. The shoes were killing me.
They do.
I don't like being cold. Like I just don't.
Same.
Also, it's boring and scary at the same time. Like I'm not even winning.
Yes.
Like, you're just so. I also don't want the whole thing. I just was not into it. But he loved it, so I was like. And also I'm married. Like, why am I pretending to like things for him? But like, I just like wanted.
I got a lot of pushback. Everyone was like, why are you doing this? Why is he making you do this? Why are you, okay, by a lot, I mean like 2 trolls, but like they were,
Yeah.
it made me think because like I'm a strong, independent woman, you know, even though I was like, I'll literally like crash my whole life.
He's not forcing you to quit your career.
Yeah. Like he just wanted me to fucking ski. You know what I mean? Like
He basically was like, if you can get good, it gets really fun. Was his shtick.
They all say that, and I do believe that's true. But like, at what cost?
At what
Like-
cost?
Like, and how long does it take to get good?
But what happened to me is I ended up like I was really tired, and we did it one day, and I landed on my hand, and like my whole hand
Oh, no.
got like crumbled.
No,
my
no.
right hand.
You really injured yourself actually?
I injured myself bad. So I was out, like I was doing cast on
Oh
stage.
my
like,
gosh.
So my mom was like, you're never skiing again. So we go to Aspen, and I put my foot down. I said, I'm not skiing. I'm retired. I'm not a skier. I get like multiple friends have hurt themselves. I'm not doing it. And he was like, I respect that. Fine. He goes to ski.
You're like, I want to ski.
First time ever. No.
Oh.
First time in Aspen. So I'm like, we're going shopping. We're going to lunch. I'm have so much fun. I don't have
After
to ski.
ski, yeah.
I'm like at the Revolve store.
Yeah.
And he texts me. He goes, meet me at the hospital. And so I went to get lunch. I met him at the hospital.
You got lunch first?
I got lunch first. I got burritos.
By the way.
Because I was hungry. And he's tore his ACL, and he's still recovering. And I was like, the ski gods clearly don't want us to do this.
Oh my God, that is really dark.
And he's like a really good skier, like does helicopter skiing and shit.
I thought, whoa.
You just get bad luck sometimes and hit an edge. And he was on like such a steep hill. He fell for like 2,000 yards. And this man is 48.
This shit is like really scary.
I'm lucky
like,
he lived.
Like, no, like that really is scary. James is an incredible skier. He grew up, you know, with money. So like they went skiing growing up and they are all really good. And his parents are really, really encouraging because they're like, we learned to ski when we were 30. And I was like, no way. And I look at them and I'm like, they're incredible skiers. But like, of course, like James and his whole family or siblings, they all learned when they were 2, right? When you have no will to live. Like you're not scared of anything. Like
you don't even know you can't live.
Yeah. You're like, cool. I see my mommy right there. Fun. Like,
2-year-old
like,
skiing is so cute.
It's the cutest thing you've ever seen, except for they're like fucking passing me and I'm bawling my eyes out and they're just like beep beep boop, boop.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was like you, where he's great, and then I was just alone on my own. Like I could see it being fun if it was like me and you fucking around, but like I would do intense like 3 hours of skiing, and I just was like, this
that's
is
just a
fun.
lot. James stayed with me, and then I felt bad because he wasn't able to ski.
Yeah,
he was very calm, very like nice, and he's like, but like he was being like, I'm so proud of you, and I was like, I fucking hate this.
No, I never cried more.
Yeah, I cried. I was crying so much my tears were just dropping into my overpriced Montclair goggles, and then they were just like chafing me.
Well, also you dropped so much money for the outfit. You're like, how many accessories do you need?
The way I spent more money, oh my God, I like literally was like, I have to look like I know what I'm doing. I couldn't. Everyone's probably like, not you in your Cordova fucking $1,200 suit, your Montclair goggles, and you're holding your poles in front of you, being like, left pizza, like so embarrassing. Like it's so embarrassing.
But the Instagrams were so good.
But the Instagrams, a sleigh is a sleigh. And then I did figure out, if you know the Cloud9 spot in Aspen that like everyone wants to go to with the champagne and stuff.
Yes.
But then to get down, you have to ski down a black.
It's all they
black.
always do that, and also people are blackout.
So there's this cat thing. There's this like big like vroom vroom like snow plow thing, but you can only get on it if you're like so hammered or like puking, and they like legally don't want you going down the thing. Yeah. So like you can just like lie and say like, oh, I lost a contact, and then they're like, yeah, and then people are just like on it, and then it was just like such a fun cute ride down.
My thing is, I want to embrace learning new things in your 30s, but I think
not that thing though.
I think there's certain things that you do and you're like, this is fun. Yeah. And like I never got the bug like that, and I wanted to for my man, but
I want our kids to ski. So that sounds nice, and they can learn when they're young. And
go play with him. Mom's home.
Mom's just après skiing up here.
Mom's hammered at Cloud9.
Mom's on her 6th Aperol Spritz. Daisy. Oh my God. Go have fun with your daddy.
Also, not even alcoholic. I will just drink hot chocolate the whole day. It's like it's totally social acceptable to have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're like, I need hot chocolate.
You really are like a 7-year-old stuck in like an adult woman's body.
Literally.
Like you're so talented, you're so successful, and then you say some shit like that. Like I have ketchup on my sleeve. You're like, I like the best part about skiing is you can drink hot chocolate all day. Like
no, you get me. You get me. That's all I want is hot chocolate. I want apple juice and hot chocolate. Normalize ordering apple juice. Okay?
Everyone orders apple juice on planes, I feel like. Planes,
I should more.
Ginger ale and apple juice. I'll fuck around.
Yeah, I fuck around with ginger ale.
On a plane. No, I don't want ginger ale any other time. If I'm on a plane, I'm like, maybe it's ginger ale?
Yep. No, perfect.
Okay, Hannah's got to go to another city, I'm sure. I love you so much. Thank you for taking the time.
This was so much fun.
Literally have none at all. So this is very special to me. I love you.
No, this was literally an excuse to hang out with you.
We'll do it again soon. Off the mic. Wear wire. We'll leave it later.
We'll figure it out.
Love you. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. See you next week. Mwah.